Hey there everybody, welcome to Tech Daily Duels Day 1 coverage of Magic 2015. We're going to be having a ton of content hit the channel in quick succession today. This first video that you're watching right now is going to be a first impressions. We're going to be taking a look at the UI, some of the options, some of the cutscenes, really seeing what speaks to us about this Magic experience. We'll be getting into deck unlockings, card unlockings, and selections and stuff like that in later videos. And for those of you who are new to my channel, you might not know this, but we'll be checking in with Linda, this game's phenomenal tutorial AI, in an entire separate series. That's right, you guys, Linda is getting her own series while we watch this beautiful animation. Can I get this out? Let's just move that to the side. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about that. We're going to be taking my best friend Jessica from a Magic novice, someone who doesn't know a thing about the game, never played a mana in her life. And her, I, Linda, and you are going to go through the tutorial, and we are going to turn her into a Magic prodigy, a pro-level player. So definitely check that out if you want to brush up on the rules, or if you want to get a friend into it. Leaving your loved ones in my tender care is always a great idea. So definitely tell them to check out the channel if you want to get somebody into Magic. I'll do my best to do it. And make them a good opponent for you when you're trying to play test your decks a little bit. For right now, I want to start this game up. That's all to come in the exciting moments henceforth. And yes, this controller does work. Okay, I was getting a little worried. That took a little bit of time. I did try and set up the controller already, so the only thing that you guys have missed have been two pop-up windows that came up and said, since I pre-ordered the $35 super version, or whatever the hell, that it also asked me how much Magic I played and stuff, which I didn't answer. So maybe we'll be able to come in here and change that kind of stuff. So the first thing while we're going in here is Archmage. I think is that Heart Mage. Planeswalker is probably the most difficult, correct? I am not sure. There's really no delineation there. Quick Duel is pretty cool. We're going to go through and we are going to turn off the display hints and everything like that. Let's right bumper on through here. Full screen, of course. Let us bump this bad boy up to what she was made to do, as well as some of that. Turn that on high and refresh rate. Let's go ahead and make this thing beautiful. Where'd you go? There she is. That is much better. So obviously I didn't get to do too much of this setup. Push to talk, sure, whatever. I don't know what you're talking about there. Soon played cards, don't really want that to happen. Vibration I'll leave home, why not? Combat animation we will also turn. Well, let's leave that on for right now. Let's leave zoomed play cards on for right now. And of course, those premiums, we have to do that. But this is some stuff that we obviously want to change. And these are settings that I think everybody will be changing right away. Order block is automatically no. Always use no. Auto resolution no. Auto land no. And with that, I think we've got the settings pretty much all set up. I really hope Planeswalker is the most difficult difficulty, though, because that's definitely what we need going into it. And the AI in this game actually better than what we've seen. Choose your difficulty hint. Hints only available Mage or Archmage. Okay, so Planeswalker is obviously what we want. Wow, this is a really pretty looking game right off the bat. It's a great looking game. I'm going to change my profile up a little bit if I can. I have to complete the tutorial first. Like I said, we're going to be doing the tutorial is going to be its own separate thing. So what I want to do now, it is not super clear what I'm selecting. What I want to do now is select my face. And just kind of look at some of the stuff that we got going on here, some of the UI improvements and some of that kind of stuff. We're going to skip this for right now. Like I said, congratulations, I've proven myself by doing nothing. And we're going to jump right into color selection. And I don't know if you guys have looked at a lot of the cards. It's a very interesting group of cards that they have. We'll be looking at those in a minute. But the color that I am going to be choosing is going to be black to begin with. And then I actually really like how blue is looking right now. I'm traditionally more of a black-white player. I've done white-green a lot in my paper Magic days. But what I want to get going right now is this Cruel Denial. They give us a little bit of time to reselect colors. I think we can actually beat this opponent before that locks us out of that option. Other than that, if you get down a little ways, as long as you don't open any of those packs, you should be okay to just delete your game save and reselect your colors. So if you're having a lot of trouble getting past Avacyn, because she's the one before you open your packs, the packs that you probably won't be able to get back, I highly recommend just deleting your save and going that route. But for right now, let's go ahead and jump into the first tutorial match. This is going to be the best way to kind of go over what we think of the AI and what we think of how this game looks. And that's really what this episode is going to be about. Like I said, we're going to get into more of the unlockings and more of the card selection and stuff like that later on. But for right now, in this video, I just want to talk about what this game looks like. This is actually a radical hand. I will go ahead and keep that. I believe our opponent is going to go first. This is the red-green opponent. That's who we're facing right now. Kraken Hatchlin's actually not terrible in this scenario. He's a good old 0-4. He's a pretty standby vanilla guy. We've got another 2-2 Grizzly Bears, this is called in the business, a 2-2 for 2 mana. That guy's just vanilla, doesn't have any abilities, but we actually have this guard Gomazoa. Sure. Which isn't going to be accepting any of that battle damage, which is going to be really good against this particular opponent. He's got a lot of first strike tricks and stuff like that that we're going to be able to bypass by having such a great defender out there. He's going to have to do direct damage to it. He does have shock, I believe, as well, so we need to be mindful of that. So we've done a great job of drawing another creature. There's not really anything we can do. There's no sense in attacking, so we're going to go ahead and pass, and I'm just going to play a Walking Corpse and say turn. Now this guy does have defenders, so what we're going to do next turn, if he doesn't play any threats, is just play another Walking Corpse so I can begin to apply pressure to my opponent. It's possible that he's got a couple 1/1s, but he doesn't, so Walking Corpse it is. I want to keep my tempo up. This guy, of course, I didn't look at specifically, does not gel with pretty much any deck that you get right out of the gate. He's just a solid drawback. He is a 3/1 for 3. He's not really good in any regard, but he also burns through part of your pile. I'm not a very big fan of that at all. So we're holding off on playing the mana until our second main. And again, we're going to be going over all these kinds of tricks, how to trick your opponent, get them to play shocks and stuff like that. We're eating up shocks so we don't have to lose our guard. We're going to be getting into all those types of tricks later on, like I said. But for right now, let's drop another corpse and pass turn. So the UI obviously is beautiful in this game. Personally, I'm a big fan of the color purple, so I like their color scheme choices. The stark white backgrounds are very awesome. The only thing I have a little bit of an issue with is the playfield. I think it is kind of boring. One of the things that they did in the very first... Let's see if we can coax a double block out of this gentleman. One of the things they did in the very first couple of these games, actually, is they had you have the option of purchasing different skins for the playmat, different playmats, and I thought that was a really good idea. I'm very surprised that they didn't follow through with that. And again, I'm still applying pressure because he doesn't have anything yet. Now, he does have some aura cards that he could play. That would kind of make me sad, make this thing first strike, but he's only got those 1/1s out there, so we're not too worried about that. If he was to lay the, he's got a hexproof beast in there, we'd be a little bit more worried. Instead, he just has this worm, which does suck a few nuts because we don't have any removal in our hands at all. I don't think, it's kind of dumb. There's no real designation that that's the graveyard or your discard pile. There are just a lot of problems I have with this particular board. I think it's a little boring. I'm contemplating bashing in against this guy because he has so much damage on the field for me. But that doesn't seem like the play. We might be able to coax out a bit more action if we wait a minute. So I will play this guard. I can prevent most of the damage that this guy's going to be trying to do to me. Convoke, of course, is a new skill, a new ability for creatures. Your creatures can actually tap down just like lands and pay for part of the CMC or converted mana cost of these creatures. These, of course, are just tokens. Krinko's Command, which I don't think I brought up, is what the opponent used. And Shock, of course, is a magic staple, a fantastic card. I think I might have a little bit of trouble here. Even if I draw a counter, I'm going to be frowning. That is a 5/3 trampler. This guy's off to the races, and I am not sitting pretty. We drew that removal, but the 5/3 Trampler can really get in on me. Go ahead and lay this land just in case. I still don't think I want to attack. I do want to play this guy so that next turn I can do Flesh to Dust, which is an instant speed removal spell. Can't be regenerated, which is nice, but that 5 mana casting cost is a big one. And let's also see what we lost here. Moon Heron, log. So obviously I've played a little bit of this game. Full disclosure, I played it on the iPad because I'm going to be doing a review of the iPad version for my app review show over on my Technovolver channel. That's going to be a lot of fun, and blue-black is actually what I went with there, and it went a lot better than this. That thing has to attack, so I can block and kill that and not take any damage. I'm starting to get in a lot of trouble here. If I can survive this barrage, I do have a few more removal spells in this pile. I like how I like the grayed out effect that they used there. I might be able to get something going. It would have been really nice to have that flying creature because I would have been able to... Well, let's see what he targets here. And that's what we're going to do is Flesh to Dust that 5/3. That's the last thing I would have wanted to do that to. Well, actually, my 3/1 over here can block his 5/3, so that's fine. Of course, we interrupted that casting, or we interrupted that resolution because there was no target. The fight mechanic wasn't able to take place. And I thought we'd watch a little bit of these battle animations just to see if they've changed from 2014. I don't really think that they've done too well to that. So this sucks a lot because I need to draw out those 2 1/1s so I can tribute to Hunger. And this was one of the removal cards I was talking about. Obviously, he's got 0 cards in hand. But the sacrifice effect is his choice, so he will sacrifice one of these 1/1s, and I'll be in a lot of trouble. Obviously, he'll block... I can't really push advantage here. He's going to block one of these with the 5/5, but there is a chance that he'll block one with the 1/1. Maybe I'll draw something. Okay. Yeah, that's the obvious play. That's a good play. The computer, as I said, in this game is better than it used to be. I don't have any reason to play this land. It's a good habit to get into to not play lands if there's absolutely no reason to do so. Because your other opponents might believe that you have something else up your sleeve. There's absolutely no reason not to block this. If I draw an unsummon or something, the reason I wanted to get rid of at least one of those creatures is if I draw unsummon, which they don't have unsummon in this pile, God bless America, I would have been able to do something. Tribute to Hunger, obviously the 1/1, and he gets 2 more 1/1 tokens. I have to just say here, I do like that effect too, the white, and then it's got a little bit of a blue filter on it right there. The game looks sharp this year. It runs really well. The load times seem to be lower than before. I'm just eating my own deck for no reason. I don't have any recursion. So like I said, this guy is not particularly good. But I need a creature. And let's see what we lost this time. A couple defenders that wouldn't have been too great. They're not defender type creatures, but they would have been nice on defense. He won't attack him because of the... Well, he might. To draw out the block from the 3/1. Well, I'll block that again. That's fine with me. You take a little bit of damage because the trample does the 2 damage from the trample does carry over. That thing can't be blocked except by flying creatures. Flying creatures. I can tap stuff down. Damn it. I mean, shit. This is really rough. Like I was saying, this is a more difficult game than it's been in past years. These starting decks aren't fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and tap down that 5/5 for another turn. Obviously, we could do more tricks with this Lynx He's got a couple more things that he can do, but that guy won't untap during our opponent's untap step. I'm trying to think if there's really anything that we have in here. We've got a vampire that we can get flying to, but we have to pay 2 life for it. It will kill this guy. No, it won't, because I'll be paying 2 life and taking 2 damage. Now I have 5 out, though, so I don't think that would have attacked us last turn anyway. He also won't be bringing the Spire Tracer because we can block it with the 1-3 and it'll just die. He'll have no benefit from that, so we won't be seeing any attacks here. We'll be moving to end step rather quickly, just a land draw. That's great for me. I'm actually super psyched to see that happen. I'd rather tap it that way, and I will definitely be the one to procure those cards. That's not great. We got that Void Snare, which is not helpful. Void Snare can be used to permanently kill one of these tokens. That's not really what we want to do. Bounce the 5/5 and make him play it again, but at this point he's got so much mana that's not really what we're trying to do either. Tribute to Hunger, we could do it in quick succession. I'm waiting. I'm gonna beat this guy eventually. It's just a question of how long it takes. That's a problem. That's a real big problem. Really wish I would have. Well, no, because he almost could have done it anyway. It's not good. Now, we could have blocked, obviously. We have 5 on the field, and he took that 1 damage to be able to kill my guy, so he could come in and do this one with Spire Tracer. Child of Night, not particularly good enough. Let's go ahead and drop it, see if we can get something going. Don't want to Void Snare one of those 1/1s. I'd have to block with everybody just to kill this 6/6. I have one more card draw spell in the pile. Doesn't want to bring the 6/6 because we have the math to block it. So the computer's still not completely human. It's always going to be playing those numbers, playing those averages. I think we can use that to our advantage to eventually get a creature out that we can finally use to friggin' attack. Jesus, thank you very much. Lord. Okay, skip attack one more time. We're finally going to be able to start doing damage to this guy. Looking at this really quickly, it has Intimidate. Of course, means that it can only be blocked by creatures that share a color with it or artifact creatures. We've sucked out 2 removal spells from this opponent. Things must be getting a little desperate here. 1 card in hand, so I assume there's some kind of damage that it'll be able to do. Spire Tracer obviously cannot be blocked by my creatures, but there's no point in not at least murdering this 1/1. I'm confused, though, because if he has Shock in hand, he could kill that 2/2 regardless. It's a strange attack by my submission, and he just has the land in hand. Very strange. These Mind Rots are not great, and I will be getting rid of them as quickly as possible. Well, I'm going to attack for 3. Because I can hold him off. I'll take him to 15. I do have the 2 life gain that I need to pay attention to, because whenever she deals damage, I will get that life. It might come up because we're so close. We're obviously running a race right now. So I can gank one of the 1/1s with Void Snare, return target non-land permanent. The 2 Mind Rots are useless to me. Tribute to Hunger doesn't do anything. It just gets rid of the other 1/1, and I'll have a 6/6 Inspire Tracer out, and I'll have 2 blanks in my hand. I'll continue to pass. Not that Void Snare is going to become insanely good because it's sorcery speed. It's not land permanent. That's why it's slightly better than Unsummon. That's why they nerfed it a little bit by making it sorcery speed. I don't know if I actually brought her up, but that's her. That's what she reads, her oracle text, if you will. That is not better for me. We're winning the race here, which is okay. Eventually, I believe the AI will go into a panic mode. We might be able to force something there if we're lucky. I'm really just hoping for a flyer because that'll stop the 1/1 from hitting me, from pinging me continually, which will be really nice. At the very least, that 6/6 will become a 5/5 when he plays it. I'm starting to think about these plays that aren't particularly good, but just in a way that I can apply more pressure to my opponent. He's still going to play that 5/5 though. There are other things that I might want to void snare and get rid of. And he does have other cards that are going to buff that 6/6 with counters. So it's not a terrible idea to just kind of wait and stay the course. I can gain 1 life by Tribute to Hunger, 2 life by blocking with Child of Night, so 3 on the turn if he attacks all out with some kind of crazy bum rush with the 6/6. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I need another Tribute to Hunger is what I would like. Not another land, per se. Continue to attack for 3, take him to 9. The blocks are all very favorable for him. So I can't exactly do that. I'm going to have to start taking a lot of damage here, but right now, let's pop this guy back up. Let's say go. I really wish that wasn't sorcery speed, because there's all sorts of tricks you can do, obviously, with a instant speed unsummon. He's going to play... That is the guy... God? Wow, okay. That is the guy I was waiting for. Who's he going to do it to? I'm going to tribute right now. That guy. Because can I attack all out then? No, because he's going to play the 5/5 after this. I can keep pinging him with this 3/2, but eventually these blocks are not in my favor at all. And by eventually, I mean right this second. I knew that one. I was waiting for that 1/1. Well, that's 1 more damage, isn't it? I guess I wasn't paying too much attention to whether or not he had a card that I could mind rot. 3 takes him to 6. That doesn't speed up his demise any. He's still 2 turns out from dying, which is not fantastic for me. I'm at 12. He's not going to attack. He should attack all out. I mean, the computer is better, but it's still not fantastic in this game. That guy's not. He's too little, too late. Attack for 3, take him to 3. Can I attack all out? I mean, there's not really a sense in attacking all out because the computer is not going to try anything. It might panic mode right now. Because we got 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean, no, because I'm at 12. There's no reason I would die if I attacked all out. There's no reason to deviate from this obviously working course. I will play this Blood Flow Connoisseur, though. Your turn. So we win next turn. It wasn't pretty, but, I mean, this game is substantially more difficult than the previous ones just because of the pool of cards that we get. So this is obviously the computer's panic mode. We can stop all of this damage by blocking it there. We can block this guy. Does he have any cards in hand? No. So I can take the 6. I'd be at 6. But I can block... I mean, there are other blocks I can do, obviously, but there's no real reason to. Sack this guy out. That thing doesn't have trample, so obviously I don't take the 5 damage. I, in fact, gain 1 life, so I'm going to be at 7. He goes to 2. And I will get to attack him for quite a bit next turn. No cards in hand, so there's no fog effect or anything to worry about. That's actually a weird card to draw right here. I'm just going to attack all out, actually. Well, I could try and get all fancy and even him up if we really wanted to. How many do I need? Let's see. Let's see what the computer will do here. What's your AI doing? Works for me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sacrifice that creature. That'll make that a 2/2. I'll see you around town. Works for me. So yeah, obviously the battle animations, not much different. There's a couple that they added in, but by and large, hey, I'm an apt pupil. By and large, they're using the exact same ones that they used before. We can still reselect colors, obviously. They do wall that off eventually, though. Don't become complacent because that's there. They will wall that off from you, and the only way to reselect your colors after that is to... And they might actually wall it off right now. But the only way to get around that after that would be to delete your save. I don't recommend that after Avacyn because I'm not sure that you'll get those back. So Indulgent Tormentor is fan-friggin-tastic. It really helps out against the computer especially. So I can't wait. Look at these load times are way better than they used to be. And now it's going to take us through the deck builder a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of the deck builder. And this tutorial is terrible because it takes out... We've got so many terrible cards, and they're having us take out a good one. We've also got another little bit of a cutscene here.
The Onaki created the Chain Veil.
It's good. I mean, the voice acting... It's good.
To create destroyers.
It's a good storyline for sure.
Of course, most are too weak to survive its curse.
And it's beautiful. It's a good looking game. It really is. Better than a lot of the past. Well, the last one was pretty good looking too. It's really about the cards, right? It's about how the cards look.
But there are always more who are lured by its promise of power.
We're gonna bring in Liliana Vess. It's a little boxy. It's not entirely its fault, though. She's going to get in her Mortal Kombat cosplay and just we're all going to have a good time. It looks like it's not going to go well. She's not going to win any prizes, but...
If his curse is not removed...
Yeah, this, what's he say, Garuk or something like that? I think he says that. Don't we all say Garuk? Isn't that how we all say it? Are we all wrong? Don't we think that, was this guy paid by, or is this just like a contractor from Stainless? Okay, so now we can go to Innistrad. But, my friends, let's also check this out a little bit. I really like this interface, to be honest with you. I can tweet and all sorts of BS like that. Look at how much fun I could have there. Let's actually go back in and fix the deck that they broke. Because they did not do a great job. Yes, like that's the only one. I'm going to edit the only deck that I can select, please. Yes. What's happening here? Okay, I'll put that in. Yep. Nothing oh, I'm using... Okay. Whatever you say. So I don't like this guy, and I don't like Mindrot. At least that guy's a guy. So we'll take Mindrot out. Eventually we'll get around to thinning out the rest of this pile, trying to get rid of some of the cards that we don't like. Let's just take one more jaunt around the game. So we saw a little bit of how it plays. We saw a lot of bit about how it plays. They're all going to look like that. And we saw a little bit of the UI. And I got to say, I mean, we must defeat the Innistrad boss before we can go any farther in the actual story. It's a sharp looking game this year. I mean, I gotta hand it to him. And the tutorial's actually really well done. Like I said, we're gonna do more of that later. We're gonna do card unlockings right now. That video is probably loading as you speak. As we speak right now, it's probably exporting and loading onto YouTube. So definitely subscribe to this channel to check that out. Even if you don't know, I want to thank you for sticking with me to take this first look at the game. It looks good. We'll talk more about the pricing model and whether or not you should buy it at the very last video of the day. It's probably going to be video 5 or 6, I'm not sure. So be sure to come back and check that out as well. But for right now, I want to thank you for watching this video one more time. So thanks a lot, and I will see you all next time.